They just slowly enslaving you imperceptibly day by day, generation by generation. This is how Satan moves, slowly turning the world pagan without them, even though he's built an entire world off of lies. And that's no joke, a global kingdom on a foundation of literal lies. It's like, down south, when you want to catch some hogs, you start putting some feed out each day, they'll come. Then one day, you finally set one piece of a cage offense, keep putting the feed out, and hogs will come. Few more days later, you put another piece of the fence, keep putting the feed out, they come and eat it, and slowly but surely, they become comfortable with it until the cage is completed and fully suspended above their head until one day they're feeding, and all of a sudden the global cage drops on them all at once and it's too late. That is exactly what the people who run this planet, the children of Satan, are doing, because that's what their father Satan does, and you better prepare. Because once that cage drop probation is over, you need to prepare your children for the world that they actually live in. Just like the taxes, look how 100 years ago, I believe it was maybe at 1 or 2% corporate tax, and now it's about half of every dollar that comes into the United States they take. Look how they move so slowly and imperceptibly. That's what Satan does. The people that run this planet do that with many other things, not just taxes. The ideology is a very, very big one. That's how Satan turned the ancient world, the majority of it, into pagans, and guess what? That's how he's turned the majority of the world again into pagans, without them even knowing that they are pagans. It's the ideologies, the information, and the lies that drag society down further and further away from God, turning the minds of mankind backwards away from the Word of God that created all things. And keep in mind, in the screen filled, in the garden, that God built, it's good and evil. Satan wants to mix good and evil. That's why the world looks specifically the way that it does. It becomes muddy waters to where you can no longer tell the difference between good and evil. God will not have hot and cold mixed together like the Church of Laodicea. And that's why you have a paganized version of Christianity. And so many other pagan religions, the majority of many different religions are pagan. And Satan's lies are even fast trying to consume Christianity. God's people, just like he has always done over and over and over again, he does the same exact satanic tactic for thousands of years, with the same exact structure of his lie, turning the minds with information, manipulated corrupt information backwards from the Word of God. That's how pagans become pagans. It's a counterfeit system. Why do you think so many ancient pagan religions have similarities with Christianity? They'll say Christianity got it from them. No, pagans got it from Satan, who stole a version of it from God and his government and corrupted it, flipped it around, reverted it, and made it his own. Satan will make a counterfeit of the original, then he'll make 98 more counterfeits of that counterfeit. And that's the religious world that you see today with all the pagan religions. They have built a global prison. They're just putting the last finishing touches on it. Same thing with artificial intelligence. When they've got the machines doing it, you're just dead weight. These people literally look down on us as if they're somehow smarter, because they believe the non-set lies that Satan has told them. They think that we're just cattle, and then away. They're not necessarily wrong, because we don't search out the Word of God. We don't seek out knowledge, true, actual advanced knowledge, that is for our benefits. That's the Word of God. They are able to do this. If we refuse to pay attention to the Word of God and to what's happening in front of us, do they have the right to enslave us? Question mark. They seem to think so. But with all this ideology, now pumping out faster with the digital age, artificial intelligence, the biggest prison that they have been building for a long time is in your mind. And that's the most scariest part. Because why would you need a machine if you can control a person, hijack their mind, hack their mind with a lie? Because that's what the life Satan does. The lie of Satan has been the most advanced weapon of warfare for thousands of years. More than anything that mankind has concocted, the technology has just been trying to catch up to that lie. The only more advanced thing is the Word of God, and it will not surrender. It will not be beaten. It will not be outsmarted. It can't keep one thing in mind, though their most powerful weapon is actually their biggest weakness, because they can't see the principle of what they are and who they are. The harder they try to prove God wrong, the more they prove him right. It's in their nature, they can't change, no matter what they tell themselves, no matter the lie that Satan convinces them of. Remember, their biggest weapon is literally a lie, it doesn't exist. They have no authority other than to demonstrate that lie, and what they're willing to do, they bear the image of their father Satan, who is willing to kill the kingdom and its king to take power, and they always do it slowly and imperceptibly. Little by little, like snakes, sliding in the dark over time, exactly like their father Satan does. If you just pick up on the character of Jesus and of Satan, you'll watch, and you can see everything that Satan's doing right in front of your face. The problem is people are looking at a flesh and blood war instead of a war of principalities, and they're missing what is actually coordinating this war that's right in front of them. Because of the lie blinds you to the truth that's been right in front of your face, and that lie tries to set itself so close to the truth that you can't tell the difference, and as time goes on it gets harder and harder to see through the very waters that Satan had muddy with the bloods of the saints, with the blood of Christ. Waters that used to be crystal clear with the word of God out of his belly will flow, living waters. Remember that the most powerful and dangerous weapon that we need to recognize is a simple lie, and how that principally has affected our whole world.